Welcome to Ode to Games. My name's Logan Plant, joined today by Kevin Valine. What's up, Kev?
Nothing much. How are you doing?
Good. We got some exciting news to talk about
We
today.
do. There's a lot going on this week.
Here to talk about it with us is also Zach Ross. Hey, Zach.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. I'm a lot less tired than I was before last week, so
Every week.
yeah,
Yeah.
every week, but a little less exhausted today and excited to talk about some cool Nintendo stuff this week. So let's get right into it with the new Mario Golf Super Rush trailer. This was released ahead of its June 25th release date, and it showed off a ton of stuff. It showed off the full roster, a new mode called Battle Golf, in addition to more courses and things like that. I want to get started with the roster. I'll just read it all right here. It's 16 characters, and it's Mario, Luigi, Wario, Waluigi, Peach, Daisy, Yoshi, Bowser, Bowser Jr. So pretty standard. Boo, Donkey Kong, Rosalina, Toad. And then these last three are pretty exciting. So Pauline, who was previously added as a DLC character in Mario Tennis Aces. And then the last two are Charge and Chuck, which is the football player enemy
Yeah.
from Super Mario World and then brought back in Super Mario 3D Land and 3D
Yep.
World. And King Babam from Super Mario 64. He's in it. He's here. I think that's
Is.
such a cool add to this sports game. What do you guys think?
I personally think King Babam was a good pick for me because that's about how far I got in 64 before I stopped playing. He's like the first level.
Yeah, it is.
But that's super cool. Charging Chuck is that his name? Charging
Yeah.
Chucky. That's an obscure pick. I know they picked Spike for Mario Tennis Aces, and I got super attached to Spike, so I'll probably get super attached to Charging Chuck. But I think I like that they're picking out these random enemies to bring them more into the spotlight sometimes, so everyone gets a little time to shine. And I love the new outfits. I think Waluigi specifically looks amazing. He's got like a weird fedora suit. I don't know who plays golf in a suit. Wario
Luigi
has
does.
like an actual golf plaid pants and like a polo, but Waluigi's just straight up wearing a suit and a fedora. So I'm not entirely sure what's up with that, but I'm really into it.
Yeah, I always appreciate when they have some of these weird characters that haven't really shown up in anything else, and that they're not just going like, "Hey, here's all the Koopalings again." Like, always appreciate it when they'll give you at least a couple where you're like, "I have not seen that character playable in anything before." Yeah, Charge and Chuck and King Babam. Did you see the character tiers?
The like different categories?
Yeah.
Yeah, why?
Wasn't it like Mario and Luigi aren't all around anymore?
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah,
They're
so
always all
if these
around.
yeah, so if what I was seeing was correct, Mario and Luigi and another character were in the speed category, and then Wario and Waluigi were in the all around. Wario's not a power
Let's
character
go.
anymore.
And Waluigi's not like the tricky
He's not
technical like he
technique,
always
yeah.
is. That's so weird.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna throw me off.
I'll look it up to confirm.
That's kind of
but-
crazy. Yeah, I have some stuff I want to add about the characters here while we go through. Yeah, so I'm really digging this new era for Mario sports games. Like this game just has a completely similar vibe to Aces, which I really love. I've said that on the show before. Like in Aces, everyone got their own unique costume also for playing tennis, and there were some alternate costumes too. And I remember people were freaking out that you could like see Wario and Waluigi's hair in their Mario Tennis Aces
Yep.
outfit. And now, of course, they're talking about their outfits again, but yeah, that roster launched with about the same amount of characters. It looks like it came with 17, and this has 16 at launch. And the weird characters there were Spike and Chain Chomp. Remember, Chain Chomp was a base roster character, so that's kind of similar to Charge and Chuck and King Babam, just two enemies that have never been playable before. And then through DLC, Tennis Aces added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 14 characters through DLC.
Wow, was it
free
really
updates.
that many?
Lot.
Yeah.
That's
I don't
Yeah,
remember
I'll
that
do it.
that many. Yeah.
I'll just read through who they added real quick. Koopa, Blooper, Diddy, and Birdo, who are once again missing from the base roster of a
DLC.
Mario, and they're still not in Mario Kart. As will forever be the strangest thing to me that Birdo and Diddy Kong didn't make it in base Mario Kart 8, DLC, or Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. They're just not there. Then they added Paratroopa, Shy Guy, Petey Piranha, Luma, Boom Boom, Pauline, Kamek, Dry Bones, Fire Piranha Plant, and Dry Bowser. So they added a ton of characters. Based on the current roster, it looks like there were room for 7 more character icons, but they could always like shrink them down in an update to add more. But I really liked how they did DLC characters in Mario Tennis Aces. some of like the extra costumes and stuff, you had to participate in the online tournament to unlock. You didn't have to play a ridiculous amount. You just had to play a few matches every month to get the new stuff. And I think it really made people come back to that game. And I hope there's something like that in place for Mario Golf, because tennis online was really good. And I think golf online will probably be really fun too. So as long as they can keep people coming back to it, I think they could have an exciting thing to build on here.
And I feel like with golf, there's more exciting online modes that they have on offer this time, whether it's speed golf or whether it's battle golf. I feel like there's even more on offer for people to come back to, especially for online modes. Would be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but let's talk about battle golf real quick, which looks really neat. It's a 4-player, either local or online mode, and how it works is you enter basically this arena. It almost like has battle royale feels to it, just based on how this thing looks like. Like, it reminded me of what the arena looks like in Destruction All Stars, which I played for like 20 minutes. But there are 9 holes spread across this battle golf course, and you play with 4 people, and you can go to the holes in any order, and first person to get their ball in the cup in 3 holes wins. And once someone claims a hole, no one else can score on that hole. So there's 9 holes, 4 people. So there could be a score where you all have 2. It's 2, 2, 2, 2, and there's 1 hole left, and you're all going for it. It's just a really cool concept, because speed golf, they showed a little bit more of too, and I was like, is that going to get a little bit dry just sprinting to your golf ball after you hit it? I'm not sure yet, but this looks like a really cool twist on the formula. What'd you guys think of this mode?
Yeah, I thought it looked pretty fun. I'm not entirely sure how much of this game I'll play in general, but if I do play any of it, I'm sure this is probably the mode Logan and I will probably be playing a lot of, maybe even Kevin if he gets into it. So definitely good to see that there's different mode variation. I hope they add a bunch of stuff in the future. Just good to see.
Yeah, I didn't think that they go more free for all than speed golf, where you're running to your ball and all that, but they went even more free for all than that. It is an interesting concept of once someone gets in the hole, that's it, and that one gets shut off. If 2 people are going for the same one, then it is a race to get to that first before it closes off, because then you're kind of hung out to dry in terms of like going for the next one. So, yeah, I think it's a really interesting twist. And we didn't know anything about it a month before launch, and here it is. So that was a really nice reveal to give a month before the game launches.
Mm-hmm. And then a little bit more of a look into the adventure golf. Looks like you both battle bosses, like which were in tennis, which weren't great. You do these missions that are totally different than the normal golf game. And they once again reiterated that you allocate your own statistics to your character instead of just leveling up a bar.
Which has to be a big deal.
Yeah, I think it looks enjoyable. I'm glad it's there. It remains to be seen again how in-depth this adventure mode will be compared to something like Golf Story or something like the Mario Golf games of old that Golf Story is heavily inspired by. But I mean, you just look at all the options you have in this game, from adventure to just normal golf rounds to speed golf to battle golf to swing mode for people who want to try out the motion controls to online play to local. There's a lot in this game.
Yeah, there is a lot of options, even if the story mode falls flat again, which is nice that you have a bunch of stuff to fall back on. I know, the Mario Tennis on Wii U, like that's still a little bit fresh on just how that game had absolutely nothing in it. So it's nice to see this game have a ton of different modes and worthwhile options to pick from.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited for it. Kevin, where's your excitement meter on Mario Golf Super Rush?
More so than I was before. Honestly, this trailer got me more excited for it. Seeing another extra mode in there and seeing a little bit more on story mode. Probably still a wait and see how the game reviews for me, but definitely keeping a closer eye on it than I was before.
Zach?
Yeah, I really want to try it out. Knowing how tennis went for me personally, I didn't love the game. Wasn't very good at it. So the biggest thing I'm worried is that Logan's going to get this game. He's going to play it for 30 hours. Somehow he's going to convince me to buy it. He's going to be 30 hours better than I am. And then I'm just going to get destroyed every time we play together. And then I'm going to end up hating the game. So you never know. I want to play it. I am excited for it. It looks really good. Definitely on my radar.
Yeah, I think tennis is more of a skill-based game than like Mario Golf games are. Like, I think about Golf Story, like, you play Golf Story multiplayer with someone who's never really played before, they have a chance to beat you. Like I think it'll probably be similar with Mario Golf.
I am
Especially
better at
Mario...
Golf Story than Logan. I just want people to know that.
Mario Tennis is a way more like Mario Tennis Aces specifically is like the most skill heavy tennis game I've ever played.
You only play as like technical characters like Boo, and then you just
yeah.
like curve the ball so hard that it's impossible to hit. Like I've got some horrible memories about that.
I'm happy that my boy Boo made the cut in Mario Golf Super Rush. He's there. He's in there. But yeah, I'm super excited for this game. I just gotta not lie to myself. This is a day one pickup for me, and if I tell myself it's not, it would be an impulse buy on day 2. So I'm gonna be getting this on its launch weekend. I'm super excited for it. And last thing I want to say on Mario Golf is that I am thrilled that this trailer came out now instead of being a quarter of Nintendo's E3 presentation. Yeah,
that's a good point.
Yeah,
my cat's yelling at me. Did you guys hear that?
I did. I heard something. Her little cry.
Hey, dude, what's up? But yeah. So that's something that I think it'll still probably make an appearance in the E3 trailer. Probably be in there for like 1 or 2 minutes.
Yeah, like it's coming out. Like let people know, but not as big of a deal to show off new modes or something since they've already shown it off.
Yeah, absolutely. So looking forward to that.
Here is the character. So Mario and Luigi are speed characters. Wario and Waluigi are all around. You've got Peach's control, Daisy's speed, Yoshi's speed, Bowser is power, Bowser Jr. and Boo are spin, Donkey Kong is power, Rosalina is all around, Pauline and Toad are control, and then Charge and Chuck and King Babam are power. I guess since they chose Charge and Chuck and King Babam, Wario didn't have room to be in the power
that makes
section.
Sense. Yeah.
But it is so bizarre to see Wario as an all-around character and to see Mario and Luigi in the speed. They've always been in the all-around section, and Wario has always been in power.
Yeah, you don't think of them as speedy characters.
No, Wario is not fast.
Yeah, that's really strange. And yeah, Rosalina, I feel like, is also like usually a tricky character. Like that's just usually what she ends up getting. At least my boy Boo is in the same category as usual.
Yeah, this heavy spin. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to be as helpful on golf as it is in tennis, but you never know.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to lean towards power.
Of the golf on 3DS, I find Boo's spinning to be really difficult to control, and I'm always banging off obstacles and stuff like that. So he might not actually be my main. I'm excited to play as King Babam. I think that's such a cool ad. Oh, the courses. They showed more of the courses. I think it was Kevin saying that he was really hoping there would be more Mario-themed courses in this thing. I think you said that last time we talked, like more crazy courses than
because I think that in that original trailer, it really was just like a green basic course.
Yeah. And we saw some of that.
Cat. Hello.
We saw some of that. I think that the courses still look a little bit bland. Like they're just throwing like, oh, here's 2 like spinies in the middle of this bland course, but it's better than nothing. But I'm hoping the courses get crazier than what we've seen.
Yeah, I'm sure that there's some that they haven't shown off yet. I would hope there are some they haven't shown off. Because a lot of
grass, desert, ice, poison. All of the Mario ones.
But they still have focused quite a lot on that grass area, which doesn't look out of place in just like PGA Tour 2021.
Yeah.
Hopefully they do have some more up their sleeve alongside, Battle Golf, which is in, like a very, very crazy course. Hopefully they'll have some more for the regular courses as well.
I think this is just in Mario Tennis Aces. My favorite course was the pirate ship, and it just had like that big mast in the middle that you could just bounce the ball off of. So I like that that Mario Tennis did have some unique stages that did interact with the game. So I think that hopefully they bring that over to Mario Golf, where these stages actually have like stage hazards that affect the game and stuff like that.
Yeah, but regardless, very excited for that game. I think June is a great time for a sports game to come out. I think it's perfect timing for it. I'm looking forward to it. So that's probably the most we'll talk about this game till it comes out in just a little over a month. So let's move on to another quick piece of Nintendo news, and that is that Skyward Sword is getting an amiibo ahead of its July release date with some in-game functionality. So this is one of the best looking amiibo I've ever seen. I think it is absolutely gorgeous. It is Zelda and her blue Loftwing, which is the giant bird companion that you ride in Skyward Sword. And it looks amazing. the first thing I always check is to see if there's any ugly plastic by their feet to make sure they stay in place. And there's not on this one. It's a pure base, and it just looks fantastic. And Zach, I know you've been getting kind of obsessed with looking at amiibo on eBay lately.
Really?
So,
oh,
yeah. So,
okay.
Does this one move the needle for you?
Yes, I think this is a really, really good looking amiibo. I think that the Skyward Sword Zelda design is one of my favorite Zelda designs ever. That and the Breath of the Wild ones are particularly good. It's massive. It's got that Loftwing too. I don't actually know the size of this thing. It's probably pretty big.
It looks huge, yeah.
But yeah, especially spending time with Logan, just talking about his amiibo. He's got so many amiibo, and it's hard not to just be like, well, how much is the amiibo of my favorite Smash character? Okay, how about my second favorite Smash character? How about this character I play sometimes? Well, it's insane. There's so many amiibo out there, and they all look really good, but now their prices are like extremely high. It's like trading stocks. You never know which one's gonna like skyrocket after you buy it. Like I bought the Magnum Malo amiibo shortly after Rise came out. When it came back in stock at GameStop, and now it's worth like $100 on the internet. Like you never know.
It's pretty crazy.
And I think Snake amiibo I saw is still like $20. It's like you never know who's going to be expensive or not. So it's really not just worth buying them just to buy them. I think I'm really leaning towards buying this one just because it's so nice. The thing I'm just worried about is that if I do decide to play Skyward Sword, is that I would want it anyways for the in-game functionality, because it's
probably should just be an in-game feature.
Yeah,
especially in a port. But okay, all right.
Yeah, we can talk about that in a second. This amiibo it's one of the more premium ones. It's $25, just like Magnum Malo is, and that's something we talked about. That as amiibo become less popular, I am personally totally down with the quality skyrocketing like this and paying a few more dollars, because I mean, how much is it for like a high-end Zelda figure? $90 probably, something like that. And this is a $25 figure.
Man, I keep seeing like on Twitter, you follow some of those gaming deals, and they'll like say like, oh, a new figure is at $500. So if anywhere between $15 and $30 for a quality figure like amiibos are. Not too bad of a deal, especially if the waves are literally like one amiibo or like one,
exactly.
One
That's
to three
something
amiibo.
else I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Like getting these Smash Brothers amiibo for $16 each. When I pick up 3 of those, it's like, oh, that's like almost a game. So it's nice that like the premium ones are kind of like the one-offs. Like, oh, here's this new Zelda one, here's this new Monster Hunter one, and they're keeping the Smash ones a consistent price. That's really nice. But like this thing is huge. I think it's gonna look awesome on a shelf. The in-game functionality, we can get to that now, but just from a figure standpoint, I think this is one of my favorite amiibo in a long time. But let's talk about the functionality, which has kind of the internet in knots a little bit. So basically what this is going to do is when you scan it into the game in Skyward Sword HD, you are able to return to the sky from the ground at any time, including in dungeons. And then once you're done in the sky doing whatever you need to do, shopping, restocking, healing, you can jump back to immediately that point where you left off at. And just for some context, if you don't have this amiibo, the only way to go back to the sky is from these bird statues that are extremely plentiful. They are not hard to come by, but like there's one outside of every dungeon. There's a ton in every area, but that's the difference, is then you can't jump back to wherever you want. And so it's just a little more convenient. And from the sky, you have to go and jump off the ledge and dive through the world and go into the cloud, and it takes a much longer time when you can just open up the menu, talk to Fee, and say, hey, I want to warp back to where I came from. So it's a pretty big quality of life improvement that is locked behind this $25 amiibo. Seems like you guys both think that this should be a part of the base game.
I just think that with a port that seems to be relatively light on additional features. I mean, you've got the new control scheme and, of course, updated visuals, but beyond those, it doesn't seem like there's too much in the way of improvements, at least not that they've really shown. It seems like it's the same game. So it's disappointing that a relatively major quality of life feature in a port is going to be locked behind a $25 amiibo. And I don't know. I wish the functionality that it had was a little bit more, not inconsequential, but I don't know. I think it is the fact that it's a port and it doesn't have much in the way of updated features already that makes this a little bit more annoying. Just because you feel like it should be there.
And that's the hard thing about Amiibo, is that when it's just a cosmetic, people are like, why isn't this a more meaningful feature? And then when it is a more meaningful feature, people are like, this should just be in the main game.
I mean, honestly, where I'm at with Amiibo, like, most of the people that buy it just buy it for the collection's sake anyways. So I don't mind if they have no functionality. I bought, the Dragon Quest Amiibo. I bought the Persona 5 Amiibo. I honestly don't know. I don't need those things to do anything. I bought them because they look cool. I like the characters, and I just want to have them. And I feel like a lot of people are in that situation as well, especially now when we're getting less and less Amiibo that will, like in this case, be a little bit more premium. Like, I feel like most people are just like, hey, the figure looks really nice, and that's why I want to get it.
Yeah.
And if it adds in a functionality like, oh, hey, change the color of your loft wing or something, like, I don't know, just like a fun, tiny feature. A quality of life feature should probably be one that's in the game.
I agree. I think that was, if this was a new Zelda game and Amiibo were still at the height of their popularity, I think this would make a ton of sense. But since we know this Amiibo is a premium price, $24.99, is going to likely be harder to find than Amiibo were kind of in that peak, kind of in that 2016, 2017 range when they were easier to find, after they were really hard to find, before they were really hard to find again. So I think that it would make a ton of sense. But yeah, the fact that this is a port, and I don't want to get into the Nintendo price debate again, but you stack Skyward Sword's original controller bundle with that gorgeous gold Wii remote and a 25th anniversary soundtrack was $59.99. $60 for the controller, the game, or maybe 70, either 60 or 70, for the controller, the game, and a soundtrack. Now you stack the game, the Amiibo, and the Joy-Con next to each other, and that's $165 for the full Skyward Sword HD experience, accessories and all. And it's just like, I almost wish this was like bundled in with the game for $60. Like Skyward Sword HD plus this Amiibo. This Amiibo has that feature for $60. That's what Twilight Princess did. It was $50 digitally and then $60 for the game physically plus the Amiibo. And it didn't feel bad at all buying that for $60, getting this HD remake and an Amiibo. And it's like, I wish they had done that again, but Nintendo is not in the Wii U era anymore, so they don't feel the need to do these deals for people anymore. And yeah, I don't really care about the functionality. I'm not even going to play Skyward Sword HD, at least not for a long time. If it ever was like 20 or $30, I might pick it up, but who knows, right?
That's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, but I'm just going to get this Amiibo, and yeah, I do think this is a feature, especially for a game with so much tedious backtracking. So many times that you have to go back and forth between these two worlds. To just have that option, okay, I'm done here, yeah, I'm going to go back up. That would be something that would probably cut out a lot of the fat of the traversal and traveling in this game.
And the fact that you need to pay $25 to cut that fat out is a little hard to swallow.
Kind of ridiculous, yeah.
Yeah, or if it was something that like you unlock like partway through the main game and you just have from the beginning, if you have the Amiibo, that's probably okay too, but there's no indication that that's a thing.
No.
Zach, from the one person who has a chance to pick this game up, any thoughts?
Well, at this point, I'm more inclined to buy the Amiibo than I am the actual game. It does really suck that there's basically very few, if any, new features other than graphical improvements and new control system that doesn't rely on swinging a Wii remote. It's just I'm less inclined to play this game than I was when it first got announced, because my first thoughts were, okay, a remaster. It's the longest Zelda it was like the first Zelda that I played, so by the time it comes out, I'll probably want to replay it. And now seeing all this stuff, seeing that there's no new conveniences added, it's basically just, it's really going to be a copy and paste. And then this whole Amiibo thing, I'm a lot less likely to play it than I was. But now I kind of want this really nice Amiibo. So, like Logan said, if it was a bundle, it'd be perfect for like $60. I think, yeah, it'd be a much easier price to swallow than paying 60 for the game and 25 for the amiibo. Now that I want this amiibo, that's going to be 25, and then I'd have to pay 60 on top of the game. So it's just something that I don't really want to do.
A lot for a port of the worst 3Ds of the game.
I was super hesitant to pay $60 for Skyward Sword, but now having to pay 85 because I want this amiibo, it's just not gonna happen.
And like I said, I'd be willing to pay 20 or 30 bucks. If this was 60 bucks with the amiibo and the amiibo was also separate for 25, I'd be like, oh, getting the game for 35, whatever, I'll do it. But now I'm not doing it since there's no bundle.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I'm glad the amiibo exists, though. There's so many Link amiibo, and it's cool that we're starting to get more of the Zeldas that match up with those Links. Like now there's the Wind Waker Link, Breath of the Wild Link, Twilight Princess Link from Smash Brothers, and now the Skyward Sword, or Zelda, sorry, and the Skyward Sword Zelda now to go aside all those Link counterparts, which is pretty cool. It's a cool figure. I'm glad amiibo are dead. I think that we kind of thought this would be the year amiibo died, and it was starting to look like Capcom was the only company releasing them, in addition to Nintendo doing the Smash amiibo. So I'm glad that with the 3D World ones earlier this year and now this Zelda one, amiibo are still clinging on every so often.
The Monster Hunter ones, both Rise and Stories too.
Yeah,
they roll back
Capcom releasing more than Nintendo.
I know.
It's like we may as well use these. This will be fun.
Yeah. Let's move on from Nintendo, though. Talk about Xbox for a little bit. Jeff Grubb from VentureBeat has reported that Starfield is going to be an Xbox exclusive. They say that Starfield is important for them as a means to grow Xbox Game Pass, and this article goes into how Minecraft exists as its own service. It makes money through microtransactions and just constant sales on other platforms, when a more niche exclusive like Starfield could help to grow this service for the more hardcore gamers who do want to pick up an Xbox just to play this game. So nothing is confirmed. This is just a report, but he says he confirmed it with people within the companies who do know. But I think this is one that the three of us kind of thought might head that direction. So with this report, how are we feeling about that now?
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I think it purely because it's not a series yet, and it's a new IP. Where if you look at Fallout, or if you look at Elder Scrolls, which those games could still go exclusive to Xbox. We don't know. Yeah. We don't know what's happening with those series, but with them, there's at least a history of other platforms, and there's a community of players of Fallout and Elder Scrolls on other platforms, on PlayStation. So it would make a little bit more sense for them to have those be multi-platform if they do decide to go that way, and have an entirely new IP be on Xbox, and then be like, the place to play Starfield, this entirely new Bethesda IP, is on Xbox. And it's the type of game that Xbox really does need. You look at PlayStation with all of its big heavy hitters. Starfield could be a big one. Bethesda's got a big fan base with their Western RPGs, and games like this could push a lot of people who maybe only play on PlayStation to hop over to Xbox, and that is what Xbox wants. Xbox wants you to get in the door. They want to get you into the door, into that ecosystem, and then try and keep you there with Xbox Game Pass, and I think that Starfield could do a really good job of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that this is the game you bought Bethesda for. This is the reason that you acquired them, was you're going to have all this other stuff too, but it's like, we know nothing about Starfield, and I feel like the hype for it is immense. And we know literally nothing about it. Nothing. Right. Tom Cruise might be in it, apparently. Reports were coming
Did not see that? Okay.
This is a very similar situation to Cyberpunk, where the hype is very real, and there's a celebrity in it, so...
Yeah, and we also had that worked out. But, so... I think that it makes a ton of sense, like you were saying, Kevin. New IP, fresh start. I don't really think you're going to make that many people angry, except for the really hardcore Sony fanboys who love Sony exclusive and hate when anything else is exclusive to anywhere else. But I think it's just a super smart move. I think that they could get a lot of people into Game Pass through that way, because you don't even have to buy the game if you have Game Pass, right? That's the great thing about Bethesda being a first-party studio now for them. So I think it makes a ton of sense. I would not be surprised at all if it doesn't happen. I'd actually be a little bit surprised at this point if it wasn't exclusive, based on all the reasons we've laid out on prior episodes and now this new report from Venture Beat. I just think it makes the most sense. Zach, you have anything to add?
No, just like you guys said, it makes complete sense. It being a new IP. I mean, this is the reason why they purchased Bethesda. It makes sense that they'd want this IP to bring people into Xbox Game Pass. I just hope that they're more lenient on some of their older IPs like Skyrim, Dishonored. I'm hoping that those be timed exclusives, just not, pure Xbox exclusives in the future.
Yeah, or even just Game Pass exclusive is still a big deal. Like, I think like MLB The Show was kind of like, ooh, if I had an Xbox, I wouldn't have to buy this today. Like, yeah.
Well, and it's pretty enticing if you can say like, hey, once you buy, you go out there and you buy an Xbox Series S or an Xbox Series X, then you can get 3 months of Game Pass Ultimate for $1 or whatever to get people in the door. I believe they're still doing that. And I'm sure that when Starfield comes out, they would want to have something similar to people who would be hopping over for that game. That's a really enticing move to be like, hey, once you buy the console, you can play this game for $1 for a brand new game.
Yeah, so brand new AAA game and a brand new console for $301, basically. If you go the route of the Series S, that's pretty nice. It's basically like a bundle at that point. Like, it's basically it's not quite the same because you don't own the game and there is that 3-month time window before you would have to pay more. But it's like, yeah, it's basically like if Sony shipped a PlayStation 5 with a new game, not like an old bundle, like, oh, it's 2020, here's God of War 2018 in your PS4 bundle, but like a brand new AAA game coming alongside your new console. So, yeah, pretty great deal. Every day I'm like, man, Game Pass is such a good deal. I wish I had an Xbox. Every day I look at that. I see more stuff going to that lineup. I look at the lineup that's already existed, and I'm like, my goodness, it's just such a great deal. There's so much on there that I'm interested in playing already. Games that I don't think I would buy, like Ori and the Will of the Wisps. That game looks amazing. I want to play that, but I haven't bought it. And just a ton of other stuff like that. The Dishonored games, there's so many titles on Game Pass that just make that thing an insane value.
Yeah, with everything on Game Pass and with what it seems like they have in the pipeline coming out in the next few years, I'm kind of anticipating that by the end of this generation I will have both a PlayStation and an Xbox.
Yep.
And that's going to be huge because last generation the only time I ever thought about an Xbox was, hey, maybe I could get a microwave Xbox One on free and for sale for like $40 to play like the rare replay, and that's it. To actually be really considering getting an Xbox in this generation alongside a PlayStation. Pretty big turnaround for Xbox.
I'm honestly at the point where if I saw a Series S on a store shelf, I might be coming home with it. Like that's where I'm at right now. Not a Series X. I'm not ready to invest that much money into something. But if I saw a Series S, that might be an impulse buy that I couldn't resist. But we'll see. I think that I really want to play Halo. I really want to play Halo Infinite, and that's coming this year. So maybe if an Xbox is easier to find by the end of this year, because I don't want to play Halo on my PC. I don't have an Xbox One, but I really.
Hey, I don't think you want to be playing that on Xbox One, really.
I don't think so either. But let's move on from that now to talk about Dragon Quest. So real quick here, a week from today, there's going to be a new Dragon Quest 35th anniversary stream. They're teasing a new project to be revealed at this thing, along with other announcements. So what do you guys think we're going to see at this event?
Dragon Quest 12. It's got to be, right? So. It's about time. Just got the remaster, technically a remaster of Dragon Quest 11. So I think it's about time. Dragon Quest 11 came out in what, 2017?
In Japan, yeah.
Okay.
2017 in Japan.
2017 in Japan. Yeah, so that's a good amount of time. I don't know how often Dragon Quests come out, considering I started the franchise with 11.
And even if they announce it here, that doesn't mean that it's even
coming
still
out
has
this
time. Year. That could mean like, hey, it's in the works 2022. Like, Yeah, I feel like the window is right for the brand new entry.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say, well, when was the last one before 11? Because before 11 was the MMO 10.
Yeah.
Which came out in, I think, like 2010. But that's not really a main entry, so it's kind of hard to say.
Yeah, it is looking back at both like Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy too. It is kind of funny how like you look at recent games and there's really not like a whole lot. There's like, oh, here's the last main entry. here's the online one, and then here's like another like random side thing. It's kind of funny.
Part 2 of one re-release before that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
funny how
It's just-
Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy are kind of in that position.
Yeah, and I think that I think we'll get a tease for 12 for sure. I think there'll be a tease for 12 probably at the end, and 2022, and maybe only 2022 in Japan. But something I do want to say is this is being streamed with English subtitles. Apparently, it's the first time they've ever done that
Which is
for a stream like
exciting.
this.
That means that
So, yeah.
they care more about the Western market. That
I don't think Dragon Quest 11 was quite that Yakuza 0 moment, but I think it was a step there. I think so
It
many
was.
more people cared about Dragon Quest 11 than prior games in the franchise in the West. I think Dragon Quest Builders 2 actually did very well as well.
on
I hate
Xbox
that
now,
game,
too.
but I think that yeah,
I
it's on
enjoyed that game.
Xbox. I think that it did pretty well, and I'm excited that they are caring more about the West. And also, don't forget, there's that Dragon Quest Monsters game that was announced for current consoles, like, oh god, 2 years ago, year and a half ago at this point, that we've heard absolutely nothing about. So if I had to guess, I think that would be the main showcase of this
Is
thing.
that the game with Eric from 11 in it?
Yes,
So
that's the game that
okay.
stars Eric.
I did
as a
forget about
child,
that.
and
Yeah.
another character from 11 that would be a spoiler to talk about. But Eric is a child in this new Dragon Quest Monsters game, and Monsters is like the Pokemon basically spin-off of the Dragon Quest series. So I think that will probably be the main thing we see. I think we might see more classic games coming to Switch. Would be really cool to see. And then I think we'll get a tease of 12, and I think that's a great event. I think a new spin-off, more classic games, and a tease of the next mainline entry is about as much as you could hope for in this thing.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, I still
Maybe
need
some mobile stuff that no one cares about.
Oh yeah, of course. The Dragon Quest Step or
Mobile game.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I still need to play the definitive edition of Dragon Quest 11.
Mhm.
Two. I still haven't. It hasn't
That's
felt
something
right
else
yet.
that Zach and I were talking about, is that this is 11 came out in 2017 in Japan, but it was the main team that worked on that Switch port. It was the main Dragon Quest team. So if that slowed development of a potential Dragon Quest 12, then maybe next year is hopeful.
And
but,
COVID,
yeah, we'll
you
see.
know, that whole thing. Who knows
Mhm.
how that affected
Yeah.
development. Yeah, who knows when the next Dragon Quest would come out, but it would be cool to at the very least get a teaser for for what comes next.
This is, oh man, I'm now realizing this event is going to be 5 hours after we record next week, so we're not going to talk about this for 2 more weeks. Unfortunately,
Why is our timing so garbage?
maybe we can find some way to hop on and do a quick little tag on. We'll see. But yeah, so 2 weeks from now we'll have a full discussion on this Dragon Quest event. Let's move on now to some PlayStation stuff. Let's talk about Days Gone. Let's talk about Days Gone
Yeah, it's
again.
back.
Because
Yes, please. Every week
my
we have
gosh.
to.
Apparently, one of the voice actors for Days Gone
Sam Whittier.
had some pretty
That's his
choice words on Twitter, and he said that. Hold on, I'm trying to find it here. He basically said that reviewers don't understand Days Gone. He says Days Gone is supposed to be a slow burn experience. The best gameplay is intentionally at the end of Days Gone.
Yeah, like the last 3 hours
of a 35
of a
to 40 hour game.
game.
Yeah, and then he promotes his own album. He's like, my album isn't designed for everyone because it's unique, and it's just a mess. And I'm just kind of tired of creators of Days Gone. I get wanting to defend something you're proud of and something you created, but the way that the people we've seen going about defending
Kind of
Days
smug.
Gone,
It's a little smug and arrogant.
it's rude.
Yeah.
It's rude. So, Zach, did you understand Days Gone?
I think it took about 35 hours for me to fully understand, and that's the point at which I was able to actually enjoy the full game experience of Days Gone. Was in those last 5 hours, where you think it's gonna end and then it just doesn't, and then you kind of just have to do more stuff for a few hours. That was the best part of the game, in my opinion. I do think that the way they're going about, I think this is a good game. I think they're defending it in all the wrong ways. I think they're being really, really arrogant about it, and they shouldn't be. They at some point you have to make concessions that you didn't make a masterpiece. You just made a good game that a lot of people like, and that a lot of people don't like, and that's just how games are. And I think that they don't really get that for some reason.
And the concept of a slow burn works great in a 2-hour movie where that tension is building.
Absolutely.
And then you have this big climax at the end that works. It does not work for a 30-hour experience.
Yeah, but the thing, yeah, especially when that slow burn, as soon as it culminates in the peak, it keeps going. That's not the end, is the problem. There's a few more hours after that, and that's just not okay. So just a lot of fat that needed trimmed out, especially if they were going for a slow burn. It really got burnt at the end. There is the problem.
Yeah.
Overcooked game. Yeah.
Overcooked or undercooked?
Overcooked, because it's a slow burn. Once it got there, they kept going, so it got burnt. There we go.
It burned.
Yeah.
It burned to a crisp. Days Gone.
Yep, exactly.
Kevin, anything on this?
Yeah, I think that if there was any hope of getting a Days Gone 2, every time somebody comes out trying to defend Days Gone 1, I feel like it gets less likely that there's ever going to be a sequel to this thing. 2 seems bizarre, a really weird choice to be like, hey, here's my defense of this game. Go buy my album though. It's coming out. I don't think it's for everyone, just like Days Gone. It's really buggy.
It skips. If you get it on vinyl, it skips constantly.
But yeah, like burn. I feel like everybody is in the correct position on Days Gone. Some people like it, some people don't. That's fine. People are gonna like or dislike a game. People understand that the game was really buggy at launch and is still kind of buggy now, but has gotten a little bit better from launch, and that there are some good aspects of the game, but it's not perfect. And I feel like a lot of people are in the same mindset of, if this game got a sequel, it would probably be a lot better, because then they could fix the mistakes and problems from the original game. But then you have all these people coming out being like, no, this game was perfect. You needed to spend $60 on it. If you didn't spend $60, you're not a true fan. But even if you were a true fan, maybe you didn't understand it, because you didn't understand the slow burn process of the main selling point of our game not showing up until 30 hours in to a 40-hour game. Like, and
it bothers me how he insults game reviewers, basically saying like, oh, game reviewers, the way they review games doesn't complement our game. And it's like, that's just stupid. Part of reviewing a game is like, yeah, I have to binge this in a weekend or whatever, but how would a player feel who doesn't have to? And you have to kind of put it into that context. So it's not like they don't think about those things. Like, that's really discrediting people who do this for their jobs to say like, oh, they don't get it because they have to rush through it. It's like, no, that's not how it works.
This game just doesn't need defending anymore. Like,
it astonishes me how much we're talking about this game 2 years after it's been released.
Like, even when those first things came out, I guess it was because the news came out that Days Gone 2 wasn't going to happen.
Yeah,
but I
from
didn't
all
think
those Sony stuff.
That a couple years later we'd be getting all of this stuff about Days Gone. Like, the game came out, it was fine. Well, it was broken when it first came out, but it's fine now. Like, I did not think that we were going to be getting anything beyond that. But now everybody seems to have to come out and defend it. Zach, you need to make a Twitter post about your crazy defense of Days Gone and why people aren't real fans and they didn't understand it.
Not picking sides. I can't.
Yeah, and the game is out on PC now, so that might be another reason that we're kind of...
Yeah, it's back.
It just came out on PC.
Back in the news cycle again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that reminds me. Okay. So yesterday, Studio Bend had a live stream highlighting Days Gone on PC for a few hours. I tuned in because they were giving away signed posters
by Joseph.
from the whole Studio Bend crew. Oh. I assume Joseph St. Cloud was in there somewhere. I'm not entirely sure. I did not win a poster, so I just wanted to throw that out there. Okay. It's sad because I assumed I was gonna win because I was on like a winning streak from a Dragon Quest stream I watched a couple years ago where I actually won some buttons, but no, I am now
So
1 for 2.
Who on the live stream came out and said like, "Oh, everybody watching, who's a true fan in the audience?"
God, I'm not gonna lie to you. I entered the thing and then I kind of stopped watching.
Who dropped the fat $60 on Days Gone? Where the true fans at? Shout out in chat.
One of the last things that I did hear before I stopped watching was that the voice actor for Deacon St. John kept butting heads with the creator because he had his own vision of how he wanted Deacon to be. So they are both probably the most arrogant
that was actually
people.
there? Oh, God. I was just joking.
Okay, we gotta move on.
What is wrong with Days Gone?
That is hilarious. That is hilarious.
Days Gone.
What a mess.
Looks good. It looks good on PC though. All
Okay.
I'll say, it looks really
All right,
good on
well,
PC.
That's good. That's good.
Couple
Jeez.
quick Sony things to get to here. We're starting to run a little short on time. PS5 patch for Last of Us Part 2 is out. You can choose between a resolution bump, faster load times, or a frame rate targeting 60 frames per second. So this is kind of similar to the other updates we've seen. Like God of War got something like this. Ghost of Tsushima runs like this as well. So, yeah, this is something I was thinking about, though. I don't know if I'd want to play Last of Us Part 2 in 60 FPS because it's got like that kind of like old-timey film grain layer over it. And I think that 30 FPS kind of suits it. So I think if I were to play it again, I would go for the resolution bump on this one.
Could use the resolution, make that game look even better. You should try in 60, though, and see what you think.
Yeah, I want to say, just check it out. See if it actually does make it worse.
That would require me shuffling things and deleting things off my PS5.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, quite a bit, probably.
Like, when a new update drops on Switch, I'm like, oh, heck yeah, I'm going to go try this out. But when a new update drops on PlayStation, I'm like, oh, my.
All right,
what do I do?
Crack out
I need
the
to
PS4
clear
and
up
swap
90
saves.
gigabytes.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And that game's huge.
It gets huge.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Oof.
But did you get that game digitally or physically, Kevin?
I got it digitally.
Oh,
I was debating getting it physically because I saw the special editions here in Japan for like $25.
Ooh,
But I
nice.
didn't pull the trigger.
Okay, gotcha. And then last story here, Sony has announced a couple of new DualSense colors, Cosmic Red and Midnight Black. I think Midnight Black is the one that everyone has been asking for.
Yep.
And these are coming out on June 7th. And Cosmic Red, for some reason, is $5 more than the other ones.
Because it's
DualSense is
cosmic.
usually $70, but the Cosmic Red is $75.
Now,
It's weird.
I will say it'd be even weirder if they swapped it the other way around. And it's like, hey, if you want the classic PlayStation feel, extra $5, please.
That would make more sense in my head, honestly.
But these colors are really cool. They look really, really nice. And
I love
think
them both.
They complement
Personally.
the blue light really well that's in the controller. I think they look really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they look nice. I will say that echoing what some other people said, I do think like if they went the extra mile and colored the PlayStation logo as the little like PlayStation button, I think that'd be really cool instead of just having it be black as well, like on the black controller. Or I guess it's on both. They're both like in that black section.
Yeah.
I think that would have been really cool to have that be like colored in some way, but in general they still look really good.
Yeah, or the colored buttons that people miss that aren't on the DualSense. Like if the black one had that. Like if they had gone like a more classic PlayStation route, like isn't the old PlayStation logo like red and yellow, and they could have made the PlayStation button that, and then have the buttons have their usual colors too. Yeah, that could have been cool. But these things do look really cool. It's basically my two PS4 controllers because I have the Spider-Man one and I have the generic black one. So they basically just announced what I had on PS4. I just wish these were a little cheaper because I already have two. There's not really 3 or 4 player games on. I play 3 or 4 players on Switch all the time. Never on PlayStation, so I don't have a need for a third controller.
Yeah, I feel like it really is, with PlayStation. Like with my PS4, it's 2 controllers. You have one that you use usually, and then if you need to charge one and the cable's not long enough, you have the other. Or if for some reason the other one like is either going out or one of the buttons doesn't feel right anymore, you have the other one to swap out to. You're not usually using them at the same time.
Yeah.
For multiplayer games very often.
Yeah, and that's just such a high price tag. $75 for the red one is pretty crazy. It's really
Joy-Con
expensive.
level right there.
It is, yeah.
For a controller that apparently also drifts.
Yeah.
Woo.
I think I've come around on the DualSense though. I think I remember when I first got my PS5, I thought it felt too big, but now I'm
Mhm.
totally used to it, and I really love the controller. I think it's great. Might be my favorite controller now. I'm not sure. It's
Alright.
it's definitely up there. But speaking of controllers, Kevin, that brings us to our ode 2.
Yeah, it's going to be a short one this week. Don't have a ton of time to talk about it, but yeah, just controller colors, and handheld colors as well. What some of your favorites are and what some of the more notable ones that you have are. Going on PlayStation, I just have the black, and then I have the midnight blue, which I actually really like. I don't like. I don't need a controller to be super like loud and in your face. Like the cosmic red looks nice, but I think I kind of like having the more like subdued colors. I think the midnight blue, where it's like not as bright or in your face, but is still a very nice calm color, has been nice. Other than that, I had a white DS, which was not good because that thing attracted
Mine got
grime
gross. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
easily, especially as a
What
kid.
model?
Light.
Okay,
I had a
yeah.
white DS Lite.
I also had a white DS
They'd
Lite.
get like stained and crusty.
Yeah,
Yep.
it got really
nasty.
gross. I think I still have it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then the controller, the screens broke on that, and then went all red. But yeah, anything for a kid, do not get it white. Like it'll just get disgusting so fast. And then beyond that, like Xbox was always just like the black. I think it was GameCube was the only other one that I had like different controllers on with. I had the purple, I had a gray, I got an orange one as well. I feel like the GameCube with the style of that lent itself more to having a bunch of different like bright colors because just about the console, I don't know, something about it fit very well. Kind of like the N64 had a bunch of different colors. That's really it for me. I guess 3DS had the base blue one, which was nice, but that thing had its own other problems. And then I had a red 3DS, the 3DS XL. What about you guys? Controllers and handhelds? Anything notable? Zach, I'll throw it to you.
Yeah, so in terms of PlayStation 4, or PlayStation in general, I've never owned any crazy colors of PlayStation controllers. It's always been, gray for PS1, then black across the board, and then I own a white PS4 controller. Nothing weird there. I will say that my favorite PS4 controller in terms of color, my friend owned it. It was the Uncharted 4 PlayStation 4 with the matte blue. That thing looks so good. I kind of want to look on the internet to see if anyone's just selling the controller, because it's a really good blue. So that's basically the extent of my PlayStation controllers. However, Switch, I will say that I did splurge on those red Joy-Cons when I was in Korea. I saw them for sale. Now that, even though they're a drifty mess now,
drifty.
all my Joy-Cons are a drifty mess now. But
that's why I can't buy any of the Joy-Cons. Like every time I look at a new pair of Joy-Cons, I'm like, the odds of those going out of me having to fix them or pay an extra $80 is too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was right after I bought my Switch back in 2018.
Along with Tennis Aces launched.
Along with Tennis Aces, great game. I just wanted. They looked so good, and red's my favorite color, so I figured I'd just splurge and get those really nice. And they lasted a long time. I'm not gonna say they didn't last a good amount of time. I don't even remember when they started drifting. They might have not even lasted that long. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Who knows how much you actually played them in between the other one.
But they, I think they were really, really, really good looking. And then for DSs, I've owned my DS Lite was white, my DSi was black, and then I owned a black 3DS and then a red 3DS XL. So all across the board on those. Yeah, the red one's the best one by far.
Looks good. Yeah.
Then I just want to say that the new Switch lights, I love all of those colors. I think they all look really good. Like the pink, the blue, and the yellow. I think they all look really good. So
yeah,
I don't think I'll ever own one. I know Logan owns the yellow one.
Yeah.
I think they're
thinking
I don't
about
know. There's
selling
just
it. Not gonna lie, thinking about selling
Not
it.
using it
how
anymore.
much? I'm interested.
I mean, just when the maybe I'll start using it more now, but when I started 4 months after I bought it, I just never went anywhere. So I stopped places.
Kind of.
So I guess I'll see if I start using it a little bit more, but if not, I might try and we'll see. Yeah. Are you done? Are you all done, Zach?
If I think of anything else, I'll let you guys know. But I think that's it in terms of controller color.
Real quick, I want to start with, you mentioned your favorite DualShock 4 that you never got. My favorite DualShock 4 was the orange sunrise one. Do you guys remember that one?
Ooh, I
It is. I
do.
have a picture of it. It's
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
orange with like blue control sticks and buttons and the handles. Like orange and blue is my favorite color combination, and that controller was just like way too close to the PS5 launch. I'm like, I'm never gonna use it, and so I didn't buy it. But it's gorgeous. And then yeah, I already mentioned the Spider-Man one that I have on PS4, which is a really gorgeous one with the white control sticks and the white buttons with the red base. And then my favorite Joy-Con that I have are the orange and blue ones that came in 2 separate sets. That my sister bought a set, I bought a set, and we swapped because it was orange and purple and blue and yellow. So I traded her the yellow for the orange. So she has purple and gold Wario and Waluigi Joy-Con, which actually look really cool together too. And then I have the orange and blue. It's like, why didn't you just do them in this combination?
Better.
Then my favorite, I think my favorite controller ever is my Smash Ultimate Switch Pro controller that has the white handles and then the Smash Ball logo layered.
That one is super
buttons.
nice.
Yeah, that one is pretty awesome.
I forgot I have one
Kevin
of the
mentioned-
GameCube ones. I've got the GameCube one with the Smash logo in it.
Is the white one?
Something like that. One of those.
Because that one was Japan exclusive. Was the
Okay,
white
that's
one,
probably
so
the one
never
that I
got that
have.
one.
Yeah, and I didn't even
That's
buy
really
it. I just
cool.
got it from somebody.
Yeah, that one's really cool. And then yeah, GameCube. I love the different colors. When we were growing up, we had the purple orange controllers, which are just super cool. And then I already mentioned it earlier in the show, but the Skyward Sword Wiimote is gorgeous. I love that gold Wii remote with the Hylian seal on it. And then handhelds, the gold Zelda 3DS was my 3DS XL that came out with A Link Between Worlds. And yeah, that's the color that I like the most because I just had the base black 3DS, and DS is the red and black DS Lite is like a classic one for me. That's a really nice DS Lite color. But yeah, I'll wrap up there since we're running short on time.
And then, since none of us play on Xbox just going ape with all of their color variations and the fact that you can design one to be any color you want it to be with their controller designer thing, or if you want to spend $180 on an Elite controller. Hey.
That's actually, my sister plays on Xbox One, and she has the Minecraft Pig Xbox One controller, which is super cool. That thing's pretty awesome. Yeah, it's all pink, and then it has like a pig face in the middle for Minecraft. It's pretty cool.
Their controllers are really cool, and they feel nice. You know, Xbox controllers do feel good, and I appreciate that they give you the option to design one however you want.
The only thing I hate about the Xbox controllers now is the new versions of them that alongside the Series S and X have the color on the front, and they wrap around to the handles, but then the back of the controller, like where the battery cover is always black or always white.
Really?
And it's just, so you have like a red controller, and it's really cool, and then halfway across the handles it cuts off, and you look at it and it's just black or white, and it's really ugly.
Oh, that's lame. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right. We are running a bit short on time. Zach, throw it to you for games we've been playing. Keep it a bit short.
All right. I know personally I haven't been playing a lot, but we will go into what we have been playing this week. I'll start out considering I haven't been playing a lot. Just a lot of Monster Hunter and Fall Guys. Always the same every week now. Since I beat Days Gone, it's been nothing but Monster Hunter and Fall Guys. Logan and I doing the mid-season. Have we talked about the mid-season update yet, Logan?
Oh, we didn't. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
We got to talk about that.
Quick hop in. Anything notable?
Yeah.
2 new games that are both really, really good. I'll talk about one, Zach can talk about the other. One is called Button Bashers.
Oh, good.
And you play, it divides everybody into a one-on-one matchup with one other being, and basically you're in this arena that has 9 buttons, and a button will light up, and you have to race to jump on that button before the other person does, and then once it's stepped on, another button will light up, and the person who scores the most after 2 minutes advances. So it just wipes out half the field in one round, and it's really cool. We've only done it once. I advanced. Zach did not. But it feels very Mario Party dual. Like it totally feels like a dual game in like one of the GameCube or N64 Mario Parties. Those one-on-one matchups. That one's super cool. But Zach's going to talk about what might be one of the best Fall Guys games.
Yes. So the new map is called Slime Scraper. Is that right?
Yeah.
Slime Scraper. It's basically Slime Climb, except it's twice as long, and it's got a bunch of obstacles in it. It's actually very difficult. So the way it's set up, it's similar to Slime Climb, where you all start at the bottom of a massive tower of obstacles, and you have to race your way to the top without dying. And if you die, you're out. And it's season 4 theme, so all the obstacles are season 4-esque with the pinball launchers that'll launch you off, the swings with the laser beams that'll knock you over, and then all of those variations of different season 4 type games. And it's a very, very, very long tower, so the odds of making it are apparently not very high. The first time I played it, Logan and I went in with 40 people, and only 6 people qualified.
Oh my god!
We were two of
and we were two of
4 people besides
two
us.
of two of the 6, which
Yeah.
is a little crazy. And then I've only played it a couple times after that. I think I've got 100% win rate on Slime Scraper. Logan's got like a 33.33% win rate.
Yeah, I've died a lot.
It's pretty bad. But yeah, I like it a lot. I like it a lot more than the other one, considering I win on this one and I did not win on the other one.
That's the reason. Okay.
It's yeah. Well, the Button Basher one, I lost like 4 to 17, so it wasn't even close.
Oof.
It was a slaughter. But I'll just chalk that up to it being my first time playing that. So I just hope it wasn't my opponent's first time playing it, because that'd be embarrassing. But overall,
is there people still playing it? Like, are you still filling up lobbies?
Oh,
Yeah,
they added
so the
crossplay.
they added crossplay with
okay.
PC
that's,
now.
That's big. Okay.
So there's most of the people we play with now are PC players. And there's a little icon on their nameplates denoting whether they're PC, but you could probably tell because there's spaces in their name, which they don't have on PlayStation. So the lobbies are as full as ever. There's
fill up
plenty of
instantly.
people. Yeah,
That's
there's
good.
Yeah.
plenty of people to play with.
So it needed crossplay.
It definitely needed crossplay. I think it was a great addition. The 2 new maps are great additions. There's 60 days left in season 4, so we probably won't be talking about anything new in Fall Guys for a couple months. Yeah, but we've been playing that since that dropped as a squad, doing as much winning as we can. Still haven't gotten the 5 wins in a row. There's a new lobby, like a lobby creation mechanic that we haven't tried out yet, where you and a minimum of 3 of your friends, I think you have to have at least 3 or 4 people, I'm not sure. I don't know if you can get 5 in a row through that.
You can cheat 5 in a row.
You can
now.
cheat 5 in a row now.
Yep.
We can't
I
do
don't
it.
want to.
That's
I don't
dishonorable.
want to.
Yeah, can't be
that
done.
trophy going to be hopping up in the
Yeah, that
predictions.
trophy is now.
Yeah.
now
But I
way
want to
more
get it.
accessible.
I've devoted 130 hours to this game. I want to get it legit. If I never get it, so be it. I don't want to get it that way.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. And that's basically all we've done for Fall Guys. Monster Hunter, still playing the new update, enjoying that. The 3rd title update's pretty close, expected at the end
We'll
of
probably
May.
be talking about it next week.
Probably be talking about it, hopefully.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's us having the chance to play it or knowing when the announcement will be happening.
Yeah.
And then other than that, I watched season 4 of Castlevania, so I decided to play Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest, I believe.
A good one.
There's 2 Castlevania 2s, so I always have to think about which one it is, because I think the other one's like Belmont's Revenge or something like that for the Game Boy. No, just Game Boy. Yeah, but it's still an NES game. It's pretty outdated. It's way better than the first one. It's kind of a leap in technology, even though they're both on the NES. There's NPCs you can talk to. There's a lot more variation of directions you can go. It's a lot more of a Metroidvania style game. Like, it's falling into the genre a lot more. And I'm liking it a lot. It's a lot more generous with the deaths and the saving. I've only put like 25 minutes into it, and I assume it's only a couple hours long, if that. So hopefully I'll have that finished by next week, and I'll have some more stuff to talk about. But that's all I've been playing. Evan, anything this week of importance?
A bit more Murder by Numbers. Same story. Like the game. Story is solid. Too many puzzles. And by
Do you like
proxy,
the music? I don't know if we talked about the music last week.
I was just gonna say, by proxy of the too many puzzles, I think the music wears thin. I don't think the music itself is bad. I think the fact that you're doing puzzles so often makes the music lose its luster. Also, there are moments where you're right next to a dead body, and the music is like, like really like, oh, it's somber, and you're trying to like figure things out, and then you go into the puzzle, and it's like do 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 do, and it just goes off, and it's really happy, which is kind of weird. Yeah, music's fine, just too many puzzles. meaning too much of the same music that you're listening to for hours as you're solving the puzzles. And then more Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, reached about the 10-hour mark. Still really enjoying it. I think that game really benefits a lot from being on Switch. Some of it didn't fully get upgraded. Like I've noticed, like in cutscenes, they still have that weird like slow slide walk that they did in Wii, where like they're moving really slow and you can kind of see them just like kind of sliding along as they're walking. So some of the things didn't fully get redone for this version, but man, it looks a lot better, which lends itself even more to the world discovery and just like walking around these huge open environments and discovering new areas has been a bunch of fun. The game, looks really nice. Music's great as always. It's a really good time. It's a long game though, so I'm nowhere near close to finishing it. 10 hours in, I think it's about 60 to 70 hours base, so it'll be a while before I finish it. But and just a lot of good memories of, because I played the first 30 hours maybe on Wii, so going back to some of these areas again has been fun, and kind of re-exploring it again and remembering some of these areas that I've already been to has been a good time. So yeah, I'm having fun with it, and I'm planning to keep on going with it.
Great.
Nice. I'll go really quick. Been playing some stuff on my Vita. New Monkey Ball, Banana Splits. And it's the best Monkey Ball of the new Monkey Ball.
Which is saying good. Nothing.
And that's because half of the levels are remade levels from 1 and 2.
Oh my god.
I'll do it. That'll do it.
So you have 1 and 2, and then you have Deluxe, which is just remade levels of the first two, and then you have this one, which is just some of the remade levels. That's the only time they're any good.
And the levels that aren't remade from the first two suck, and the physics are bad. That's all I'll say about that.
Cool.
And then really quick, I do want to say I ended up buying the first of the Famicom Detective Club games. And I'm good. I haven't
jump for the deal. Can you do that deal at any time, or is that a one-time?
Yeah, when you buy the second one, it's disc. You get the second one.
Okay, cool. Okay, it's not like you have to buy them.
Sweet.
At the same
together.
Or something. I guess you can't buy them together because you can only buy one game at a time. There's no cart feature.
There is a bundle on the eShop also.
Okay.
Get them. So yeah, you can do it either way. It's like how Bayonetta worked also back in the day.
All right.
But I've only played like 30 minutes. I haven't had that much time to jump into it yet, but I think the animation is gorgeous. It's a beautiful game, and yeah, I'm looking forward to talking about it next week, where I'll probably have finished it because I've heard it's only like 6 hours long.
Were you saying last week that because the new Ace Attorney Ace Attorney games are coming out, you were going to pick it up? Why did you decide to pick it up?
I don't know. Wanted to. Felt like it.
All
Why
right.
not?
All right. It's the best reason.
All right.
Yeah, reviews look good.
Like
I think I'll enjoy it, and I think it'll be a nice, because it's so short. I think it'll be a nice primer for Ace Attorney.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Nice. That it from everybody?
I have a final thought.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. Okay. Any final thoughts? We'll wrap this up.
This is only for if you're watching the video version, but here is what the Xbox controller looks like in the front.
Okay, looks good. A lime green controller.
Here is what it looks like in the back. You can see that it cuts off halfway through the left and right trigger. It's a big line, and then it's white the rest of the way. Yeah, and all of them are like that. Any color you get is like that.
I guess
that's
except
ugly.
If you design one yourself?
But that's closed right now. That's not open right now.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's pretty ugly.
That's a weird decision. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's all.
All right. Xbox dropping the ball. Your controllers have been so nice. Why'd you have to do that? Zach, any final thoughts from you before we wrap up?
With everyone's permission, I'd like to design a Days Gone segment that I could do every week where I just go over Days Gone news and talk about my thoughts on the franchise.
Honestly, we're probably going to... It seems like we're going to be talking about Days Gone every single freaking week. Like, some new thing. Just when you think it's not... just when you think it's going to go away. Some new person on the creative team or some actor is going to be like, oh, you didn't understand it. And then you have somebody else like, no, we didn't mean that.
I'll only need like 20 minutes every week if we can spare it.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Look forward to the Days Gone news wire every week. Talk about the latest Days Gone news. All right, that is going to do it for us on this week's episode of Ode to Games. We're here on Thursdays on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, other podcast streaming services that you may use. You can catch us on our website as well, Ode to Games, that has the audio version of the podcast, the video version of the podcast. If you want to see Logan talking about why the Xbox controller is kind of gross
ugly
now, or if you want to see his cat His cat showed up in the video for a little bit. You can find it on YouTube, Ode to Games as well. So that's there for you to check out. We're on Twitter at Ode to Games, Twitch, Ode to Games as well. You can send an email to odegamescast@gmail.com. For Logan and Zach, I'm Kevin. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you next week.